through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through, fumbling through.
Good pleasantries, polyhedral players, and people of Pathfinder, and welcome to Fumble Through.
Fumble Through!
A podcast that drank an infusion of 100 GP Pearl, an owl feather steeped in wine, and swallowed a miniature carp just to identify that it no longer has magical properties. Did you get that one? That was for a second edition identify spell.
No.
Well, it's in the rule book, Luke. You wouldn't get that.
Oh, is it in print?
Yeah, back then they only had print. They didn't have digital versions.
It's chiseled in stone.
We appreciate you stopping by once again to drink from the tea of storytelling that is brewed from the essence of Luke, Brett, Lindsay, and myself. Remember that if you want to show some support for the show,
Yeah, follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. There's chats, a Facebook group where we have a lot of cool conversations. It's been pretty good. Fumble through.
Fumble through. Oh, Brett finally caught up.
What?
As always in the Fumble Factory, we like to start the show with a nerd question. This week is a departure from the role-playing fantasy genre and just a ponderation of general nerdiness. If you have a question you would like us to answer, post it in our Facebook group, a place where we like to discuss anything nerdy people are passionate about. This week's question, which was submitted by the magnificent listener Kyle, is: what pop culture vehicle would you like in real life? I love this question.
This is a pretty good question.
And this is the question. First and foremost, what is a pop culture vehicle? What kind of vehicle actually fits into this?
Can I shout out some vehicles that are coming to mind?
Okay, go.
Kit,
Yes.
Batmobile,
Love it.
the DeLorean from Back to the Future, the Mystery Mobile from Scooby-Doo,
Boo.
but one.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, in the genre. Might not be at the top.
Ecto 1 from the Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
So
So
Lindsay,
that's-
get off your phone. That's cheating.
I was just going to look up its actual name, but I was thinking the car from Green Hornet.
The
called-
Hornmobile.
The Grornet.
We have mentioned in the past Voltron. Do they count as vehicles?
Vehicles.
Yeah, we could have one each and then full of Voltron.
I'm not
as
in.
discussed. Wow.
You got to pick one. You can't just list
Yeah,
list
okay.
a ton. You've got to pick
Yeah,
one.
But to get a sense of that's the genre we're looking in, right? That's
Yeah, they're the kind of things.
there's the paddock we're in.
Okay, a question.
Yep.
Does the Millennium Falcon count?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, see,
That-
this is where I've got to draw the line.
That kind of changes my...
Yeah. Does the Death Star count?
Does that move?
It does.
Yeah. That's no small move.
Does the Death Star move?
What do you mean?
Of course it does.
How?
Well,
Yeah.
no, it's never really explicitly answered, but we know it
Does it
moves.
just get towed by like
remember
Star
how
Destroyers?
remember
or-
how it goes from one place to the other to blow up that other place?
No, just that, big
It-
laser across
it-
space.
Was it in Alderaan? It was
Anyway.
looking in Alderaan places.
Because I was going to say...
Oh. Right. So do those big spaceships count, or are we just sticking to Earthbound?
Okay, I got one then. If we're sticking to Earthbound. Optimus Prime.
I love it. A transformer of any kind.
Yeah, actually,
It's a
Bumblebee
vehicle.
was cool, but Optimus
Yeah.
Prime, he's got his trailer on the back, which is his base as well. So you got a house,
Uh-huh.
and you got a
You got
friend.
a house.
I love how you
Where
said
do you
it's
live?
practical. Eh?
I live in Prime.
Prime real estate.
Have you ever thought about cars? Right,
Yeah, I have.
you know the movie Cars, where it gets transported in the back of Mac, the big
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah.
Is
No,
that
don't go there. Don't do it. Don't do
Trailer.
it. No. Oh, wow.
So Optimus is getting old, right? Does that mean you got to get up 3-4 times a night to get out of his trailer while he goes to the toilet?
For an oil change. So if we were to do otherworldly with Millennium Falcons included and things like that, it would have to be surely the TARDIS.
Yeah.
I hate Doctor Who, but
Yeah.
that is like
Oh.
the
Coolest vehicle.
Yep. Outside of that, either Airwolf or a hoverboard from Back to the Future when you said about that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
my first thought went to the Masters of the Universe movie with the flying discs that the Skeletor soldiers were on. I was like, well, why not just use a hoverboard? It's the same sort of thing.
Yeah,
isn't
but
it?
we're not allowed to reference the Master of the Universe movie.
Are we not?
Let her go. Terrible movie.
It's a great movie. I love it.
It's a terrible movie that I can quote.
I just wondered if you want the rest of us here or you just want some alone time.
I'm
What about you, Justin?
I have a couple, so
Just trash.
The Fiery Phoenix from Battle of the Planets.
Mm.
Yeah, the spaceship that had the
Don't know it.
car and the motorbike and the little buggy.
Wasn't
and
known as Battle of the Planets all the time. What was it called?
It was, well, Gatchamon it was also known as there was something like a Space Secret 7 or something.
Right.
But we knew it as Battle of the Planets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason.
G-Force.
G-Force. Jason, Princess, Keop, Tiny,
Mm-hmm.
and Mark.
Yep. That would be one of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I'd thought about the
For our
TARDIS.
listeners, Lindsay is on the mobile.
I had thought about the TARDIS because I think the TARDIS is a really cool one. But if we are going to go, we're not space and time. I'm kind of bend that rule by saying
Serenity.
Silver Surfer's surfboard because it's kind of got the power of Galactus and it can do cool things.
Can it?
Yeah, it really can do cool things.
Not in the movie, right? You don't see any of that in the movie, do you?
What is with you in movies? It's a comic book first.
Sure.
Read a book.
Graphic novel.
Jesus.
Cheapers.
Okay, Brett, what have you got? I really do like Kit though.
I
You
think
said
Kit's
Kit
great.
before.
I think Kit's right up
that's
there.
cracking one.
And
yeah.
Car.
Isn't that Kit with a moustache?
And what was the truck called? There was a truck as well.
Cat.
Kit
Kat
car. Yeah, right. I'm also in my brain is Mad Max's car.
Oh, yeah.
From
The last of the V8 Interceptors.
right. Yep. And the new movie where they've got the guys playing guitar on the front and all of that stuff going on.
yeah.
I loved. And I'm also thinking about there was a cartoon called Mask.
Yes.
Oh, Mask.
And they would put on these helmets and their vehicles would change into other things. And it was kind of a Transformers ripoff, but the vehicles were pretty cool. And the little boy in that had a robot that he could ride.
As a trike,
and that
wasn't it?
was cool.
Was it trike or yeah?
Yeah, it
Something
was
like
like
that.
a little tricycle.
Yeah,
thing.
that was
Scooter
cool.
thing.
It was like a Segway poop hopped up. So there would be, I'm in that zone.
Mad Max is a great one. That is responsible for way too much money that I've spent on cars over
Is it?
my lifetime. That started my love for classic cars.
Yeah.
Nice. It always comes back to 80s cartoons. in this
80s
room.
cartoons were where all the magic
Mhm.
happened.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Give me
A man after
something-
midnight?
Yeah. Give me something that was done in the last 10 years. I want an answer that is not from the 80s. I want to be relevant to people like Lindsay who are young and hip and cool.
Okay, how about one of the Jaegers from Pacific Rim?
Oh,
That's
that's yes.
Come on in. Come on in. I've done
Oh,
it.
I'm
I've done
sure-
it. Yeah.
10 years is stiff.
The Mach 5?
Because no one's even made new content in the last 10
Well, I'm
years.
back to
It's
Star
all
Wars.
ripped off.
Controversial.
I'm back to Star Wars with the Seacrest.
Yeah.
Like Mando's ship was cool. It had a
Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest. I think he's lovely. He's delightful. He's dreamy.
Razor Crest?
Seacrest.
Yeah, I was like, you threw me off with
when
Seacrest.
you said secret, I was
And
like,
we're
what
back
the
to
fuck is
Secret.
he,
It had its own personality and it was blown up and it still flew through space and the back door was flopping around and
As you said.
And then, it became the ultimate Lego piece where you could build it or break it apart and it still had its relevance.
That's nice, yeah. It comes fully assembled in the box.
Lindsay?
It's not in the last 10 years, but as I was saying, Serenity from Firefly is a fantastic. That's an ideal, like, so iconic.
That's the equivalent of silver in Lone Ranger in a Western.
Yeah, it is. And welcome back to Nerds Talking About Cars. This is what a nerd podcast about cars would be like. It's got a V8. No, it doesn't have a hyperdrive.
It's got an ejector seat.
What I would like to talk about is that tonight in the Fumble Factory, we have something special. And I would really like to thank a dear listener. One of our listeners has gone to the lengths of making dice trays for us. And I think in a commemoration right now, we should all throw a dice so you can hear the glory of these awesome dice trays. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so beautiful.
What'd you roll?
17.
17.
7.
What did you do, Justin?
I rolled a 19.
Ooh,
That's the last good roll I rolled tonight.
Thank you for the tray. It's beautiful, but if Justin keeps rolling like that, they're going in the bin.
So
gorgeous.
I would like to
trays.
thank Peter for putting the time and effort into giving us these wonderful things.
They are beautiful and they're extremely well made.
Incredibly professional looking, aren't they?
It's almost like he's got some kind of craftsmanship and knows how to use.
It's a real shame that these are the nicest things on our show.
You know me, I can't have nice things.
Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things. Anyway, so where we last left it, you guys had approached the Silver Lily, the captain's bar, the most fancy place in all of the Dock Hollow area. And you had knocked on the door. Does anyone remember what happened?
A little droid came out and said, Muchachua, doctor.
Wonky jobber.
Me wanna wonga.
He wanna way goer.
Yato, yato.
Nerd.
I'm so happy right now.
Yeah. And then Lindsay's like, it's like, wrong song. It's not how it goes.
No, I don't remember.
Didn't we knock on the door and kind of like
There was a pass.
pass to enter, and they were like, oh, you know, we were basically left to wait out while somebody went in to find somebody they were going to talk to.
Yeah, so
Oh,
a
there's
head
a butler.
popped out of the door and he said, oh, you're members of the Night Watch. I shall see if the lady will permit you. And then he shut the door in your face. It's been about a minute and you're standing on the streets. It's very late at night. You're left to your own devices. You can hear the murmur of voices from inside, the chink of drinks from inside. There's a warmth coming out of the light, a very inviting warmth. And you really want to be in there out of the cold, kind of misty, smoggy air that's outside, that's clawing in on you as you look around. You can only see about 30 feet around you. What do you do in that minute?
Lady Nodo is the only lead we have in these parts to find out what's going on.
So let's just, when we get in, obviously there are captains in here, and we pretending to be captains or not? What's the plan?
Well, no, we're just here to
Honest,
talk to Lady Nodo.
Lady Nodo.
Yep.
And what are the things we need to ask her about?
We are here to ask her about the Piper and the fight sport.
Do we also
Right,
need to
stuff.
clarify about Kudzu, because she may have some information about that.
Well, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that.
And
I feel a bit bad about sending Jack off.
the vampire. We should ask Lady Nodo if she knows about vampire.
Well, we've already dealt with the vampire.
When?
Well, it's a Kelpie, remember?
I didn't. That's not a vampire, though.
No, but it obviously was a misconstrued
Well, we're
story
making
of-
an assumption there. We don't really know for
We
sure.
should
if
check
that
with
was
Lady
the thing
Nodo
that
if
he
she
was
has any
after.
info about. We did hear a vampire down in the dock.
waterfront. When we went to the waterfront and we got attacked by a Kelpie.
Are you saying that you fought a vampire?
No, we fought a Kelpie.
What?
Much, much more dangerous.
You
than a
never
vampire.
told me that.
Sorry. Yeah, we fought a... I mean, I didn't. I was smitten.
Here I was just thinking that you were renaming a bar or something.
No. We had to follow. Miles followed this lady down to the waterfront.
Now, which one are we talking about, Flops?
That
We
track.
just
The green
followed
one,
a
the green
few-
one.
few- Oh, right.
The
right,
green
right.
one.
Yeah.
And then went into a boat with her, and
Yes.
then Reggie rescued them.
That's not how I remember it. I
That-
remember...
that's exactly
You-
how I
I
remember it.
remember
That's exactly
pulling-
how I remember it.
I remember waking up in the drink and pulling you out of the drink while you're unconscious.
Oh, I'd done all my heroic actions by that point. I was
he had
spent.
just defeated the Kelpie at that point.
Well, I didn't see it after that point, so... You know.
I rest my case.
Oh, wait, something's happening. And you see the door open just a crack. And the same man's bald head comes out and says, members of the Night Watch, Lady Nadeau will see you presently. And he opens the door. The small bald head that you see is actually adjoined to a giant muscular body. This guy looked very nice when he just stuck his head out the door, but you see he is covered in ripples of muscle. And, you know, the kind of guy that you probably wouldn't want to mess with.
I can take him.
Let's go. Once inside, you see a stairway leading up to a second floor, which goes onto the left of the parlor that you're in. This leads upstairs where the captains are entertained. You see a row of coat hooks which line the wall to the right of you, and a door is straight ahead, which seems to lead to the living quarters of the manor. It's very beautifully decked out in rich woods and rugs. It's warm. The fireplace immediately warms you up from being outside upon the streets. At the top of the stairs, once you get up there, you find yourselves in a large, lavishly decorated and furnished room. A mahogany bar runs the length of the far left wall. Couches and winged back chairs, richly upholstered and deeply cushioned, are scattered in close yet tasteful arrangements throughout the room. 7 or 8 rather sophisticated men are lounging about, each holding a snifter containing an amber liquid. You see a lady glide towards you wearing a black velvet dress. Hello. You are members of the Night Watch.
Why, hello, miss. My name is Captain Miles McCarthy of the Night's Watch at your service.
Oh, wonderful. And you?
You could call me Flopsy, I think. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. This is a beautiful establishment.
Thank you very much.
What do you call that? Is that velvet?
It is.
It's like coming to America. What is that, velvet? Yeah.
It's exactly the line. Exactly the line.
Perhaps you could tell your friend my eyes are up here.
I'm just looking at the, not your dress, that couch. Is that velvet there?
Yes.
Does that hold up?
And who might your little friend be?
This is Piara.
Oh, hello. How are you? Pleased to make your acquaintance.
Wow.
And you, sir?
My name's Reginald, my lady.
It is a pleasure to meet you,
Pleasure is
Reginald.
All mine, my lady.
Now, come with me. Perhaps you would like a drink.
Unfortunately, we're here on a watch business and we can't drink on the job.
Oh, I'm sure
Well, in
one will be all right.
No, you've already had a few. It's fine.
Well, in that case, perhaps we could lounge in a more private area. And she kind of points to a little couch area with a table that's a little way away from everyone. It's still in the common room, but it's a way away.
How many other people in the room?
About 7 or 8.
Yeah, right.
Is that the chaise?
As you're walking past, you see one of the gentlemen with his snifter in hand, tattoos all down his arm, very much a crusty looking type captain. Even though he's dressed in finery, you can see that underneath that, he kind of looks at you and you can see he's got a bit of the drink. He's well into his cups and he kind of stands up and he pushes some cards onto the table and he looks at the other guy and he's about to raise his voice when you see the lady Nadeau just stare at him and he says, "Oh, sorry, my lady, sorry," and sits back down again. And she continues on. She says nothing, but just stares at him. She continues on and she gestures for you to sit down into one of the upholstered couches and some high-backed chairs that is tastefully arranged around a table. Now, tell me, what is your business here, Night Watch?
So we've just come from the Inn of No Hope, who they mentioned that you might be able to help us with a couple of questions we've had about some events of the night.
Ah, Miles, was it?
Yes.
Perhaps we could get to business in a little while. Tell me about your night. What have you seen? I know the Night Watch have only started recruits for tonight. Tell me about your evening. Who have you seen? Who have you talked to?
Oh, what haven't we seen? Right, fellas?
So, well, it started at the fish market where we met some lovely people and the rats on stick, and that a man was overtaken with a cursed item on his chest.
Oh, really?
And then to settle that, we had to adjudicate between Bull Clutha and Duncan, who both thought that that man should be healed in their establishments.
Bulklutha. You are talking about the priest who runs the Inn of No Hope.
Yes. We'll come back to that because we came there not that long ago. This feels like days ago now, but it was only early this evening. Who else did we meet? Oh, we
He's
went
a
to
fine man, Bulklutha.
That was the,
Yeah.
the runaway cart.
Ah, yes, and Lady Varjan
Varjan
Ray,
Ray, yeah.
and she was being escorted by an elderly gentleman. I've got to flip my
I
notes.
do
man.
know the name Vajan Ray. It is where I get my perfume.
Yes, she smelled delightful. She was a bit of a cow, but she smelled delightful.
Little Reg is just watching
Yeah.
Nodo intently to kind of see what.
As you're looking at her, as soon as Flopsy says she's a bit of a cow, you can see just a little change, a micro expression cross her face, as in she didn't like that. She didn't like that at all. You get the idea that this is a lady who is used to having people around her being respectful, treating her in a very particular way. And as soon as he said that little kind of uncouth moment, she kind of went, a little sniff, micro expression, and then pulled back into form and back into politeness.
Anyway, she was being escorted by Sir Winifred Stanley.
He was a baron, I recall.
I am unfamiliar with his name.
Mm.
And how did this resolve itself?
We escorted her home, but that was before we got attacked. Well, that was after we got attacked by a choker and found a little girl that was turning people into animals.
Attacked, you say?
Yes, the baron was quite ungentlemanly, and he left the lady to us. What a uncouth gentleman.
I have not seen or heard of him before. A choker, you say?
Yes, so just a choker is what I think we figured out what it was.
And you scared this choker away, yes?
You could say something like that, yes.
You would not want the choker society to...
Society.
That is right.
Joker's Society of Absalom. I think we've heard about that before. When we dropped off into the gardens of splendor.
The gardens of opulent splendor.
Yes.
Apologies for interrupting.
I beg your pardon, madam. We met a young lady who had a wand that belonged to her uncle Verdast, and she was turning people into farm animals for a tea party. The uncle presently undid all of that work, but we were able to assist somewhat in getting him back to his human form to do so.
Ah, yes.
Some creature was playing a game with us. Tag, little fishies, tag. I still don't understand what happened there.
Yes, we don't even know what that was.
He absolutely ensorcelled Madame Piara here, and she got very cranky with us.
Oh, he did not. Beg your pardon, lady.
We met up with some guys trying to impersonate the watch and shake down a tavern owner.
Yes,
Oh.
but before that, we ran into a weird guy named Kudzu who controlled a lot of rats.
Down in the sewer,
Kudzu.
wasn't it?
No, it was in a barn.
He was in the warehouse district.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm having flashbacks of a sewer. That was the most recent thing I've
Those two gentlemen who own the iceworks next door.
Oh, you are talking about the McTaggart brothers.
Yes.
I buy ice from them.
That's
Yes.
very nice.
They are very nice boys. Very muscular.
Interesting business model they have.
What makes you say that?
Just their generation, the way of generating ice. That staff and the use of the staff to create the thing that makes the thing that ices the thing, and then they carry the thing.
Ah, there are many things you are speaking of.
Then we had the people pretending to be us.
Yeah, so we made an arrest there, and
Yes.
Madame Piara took one of those guys back to the watch and
Oh,
filled out
please.
some forms.
Please, I love a good story. Tell me about that.
Well, they just were pretending to be members of the Night Watch. They had stolen what we think were armbands of previous watch members and wearing them.
Oh, the devils.
And we're just trying to hustle people down. And then we encountered some sort of creature.
Well, we met Jack at that point, remember?
Oh, yes, Jack.
Do you know Jack Harker?
I'm not familiar.
Jack Harker is a vampire hunter. He's looking for vampires.
Vampires.
along the waterfront, which we think we encountered because shortly after we sent him off.
I'm not so sure about that.
Shortly after we sent him off, we encountered a Kelpie who ensorcelled me and then disguised as a beautiful woman. And then she, apparently, I don't know. You guys take it from there. I don't remember.
My little friend here did his business. Well, that came out wrong. He managed to save Miles.
I
And
did
then
what any
saved him.
colleague would. I did what any colleague would.
And then I saved him while you were face down in the drink.
Indeed.
Yes, it's a reciprocal savings, I think
Yeah.
is what it's called.
And then we went to another bar and we sold it to a.
We
did a
had to give it
competition.
away. We had
Yeah,
to give
did
it away.
A competition.
Yes, Bagrac and Simon.
Yep.
Some very nice
made some
drinks were
beverage.
made.
Oh
Some very
yeah,
nice drinks
I
were
tell
made,
you
yeah.
what, if you ever get a chance to taste the little nugget,
That's right. It wasn't like it. That's right.
You do look delicious.
do not, whatever you do, have a taste of the McCarthy.
Ah,
You couldn't give it away. could you?
No,
I have been warned.
it does put you to sleep though.
It sounds like you have had an event.
Busy,
Oh,
right?
That's nothing.
We
then.
haven't
And then-
finished.
Yeah, and then we found a guy that was in an alley getting shaken down. and
That's
we
right.
chased them down.
He was a textile merchant.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Then you got eaten by an alligator.
Oh yeah, I jumped down after trying to chase
Eaten
chase
by an
him
alligator?
down, and there was this
In the
massive,
sewers.
Or a crocodile?
massive croc in the sewer.
You must have been scared.
Um, yeah.
So then we took the textile merchant to the Inn of No Hope, and then we found Bulkutha, who wanted some help with another guy.
Bulkutha.
Yeah, Bulkutha. And they had a guy that had been attacked by something else,
And a cat.
and a cat. And the cat led us to a wizard's house. Oh, we forgot about
A
the wizards.
Modo.
Oh, so yeah, then we ran into I forgot about this completely. Two wizards, Draco and
Not Draco.
sorry, Ivas and Modo. who were-
Draco, Elas.
Yes, Draco Alas, you had a fight with him.
That's right. Yeah. Well, it wasn't a fight. It was a
sparring,
it was a healthy competition. It was a wager. It was great fun.
And how did you go?
It was called a draw.
It was a draw. Yeah.
I did win the purse, but it will be a rematch in the arena.
That's quite right. There was an invitation extended for the fighting pits.
He has a very good nose for the weather. He often comes and tells the captains when the weather is about to change.
My grandfather had that with a hip.
Oh,
If his hip hurt, he knew there was going to rain.
very good.
But yes, then we ran into Ivas and Modo, who had summoned a illusion of a dragon and were arguing over.
I'm going to edit their book, don't you know?
Their book.
Yes, they're going to write a book about their adventures rather than arguing about them. They're going to write it, and I'll edit that together.
It sounds like you have had a very...
We're not finished yet. There's still more. And then we went to what ended up being Modo's shop, and a young lady was
We got
asleep.
led there by the cat from earlier.
True,
A
yes.
cat.
Her cat, the young lady's cat, took us to the cat was unconscious, and we had to heal.
Remarkable.
Yeah, we had to revive.
And then that lady, what was her name? The young mistress who was working there, Donarel.
Lady Desanara. We found this Lady Desanara unconscious in Nodo's workshop.
Unconscious, you say?
Yeah, she was playing around with some magic spell and it went wrong.
Well,
And then we had to get her out and clean it up. And apparently she's going to be in a bit of trouble.
Can I do a sense motive to see what's going on here?
yeah,
Any
of
chance?
course you can do a sense motive.
First roll on the block. Let's go.
All sense are good.
Oh, natural 19.
Oh, it works. It works.
Does a sense motive of 21.
Of 21.
21, yes.
So you look at her, and she's just being polite.
Mhm.
She's obviously interested in young watchmen. She's
Yeah, but she is.
and women, because PR is there. But she's basically just asking you. She's being interested in your story, and she's just doing a bit of small talk.
Does feel like it's a one-sided small
It
talk.
does a
She's
bit,
not
hey.
giving a lot of info. She's taking a lot of info.
There is not a chance to talk.
I beg your pardon.
It's true. And if you think that's interesting, Day, you should have seen what happened before all that.
Add to my list of questions for you, madam. Sorry. Beldrin.
This seems like you have had a rather entertaining night.
It's certainly been an interesting first evening on the watch. Yeah.
And have you ever been watch people before?
I certainly haven't, ma'am.
No. Why, no.
I'm a beet farmer by trade.
Wonderful beats. So, what brings you to the Silver Lily tonight?
So, there's been a couple of things that we're curious about. The first one, we're that kudzu guy we told you about, the one with the rats.
Yes.
He has threatening to unleash thousands of rats upon the city if we don't find a piper that is stealing some of his rats and murdering them. And we are in search of a piper, and we're just wondering if you have any information on a piper or rat fights.
You are aware that there was a rat bounty that was advertised by the city about a month or two ago?
No.
Are you not?
No, we only recently arrived in town, so it's a piece of information that's escaped us.
Yes.
Someone else who's been here for a while might have known about that, Madame Piara.
The docks,
She looking shifty now?
the
Piara
docks were overrun by rats. It must have been good for Kudzu, living in the sewers as he does.
So you're familiar with the man.
We
Since
are
when-
all, we are all familiar with the old druid. It is very bad to think that he might get upset if you do not find out who is killing his pets.
So is that bounty still in operation, or is that over now?
Ah, the bounty, as far as I know, is still in effect.
Mm.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why have you come to seek me for all this? Am I a suspect?
No, we actually got told you had a lot of information.
We were told that you were the lady to see.
And who told you that I had information?
There was a couple of people. There was Blue Clutha. Blue.
Bull
I
Clutha.
hate that name.
Not
Blue Clutha.
Blues Clutha.
Bull Clutha. And she picks up her brandy snifter and she gets a bit louder and says, Bull Clutha, we all donate to him, don't we? And everybody in the bar sort of turns around and goes, yeah, and they all chink their glasses to Bull Clutha.
To Bull Clutha.
And then
Blue Clutha.
and she looks back at you, and at that point she realizes there's nothing on the table, and you see her click to one of the servants in the room who busily grabs a little tray and just a jug of water and some cups.
I wouldn't mind a little dry
there.
red.
And there, perhaps.
Hot pockets.
Do you say that?
Yep.
Perhaps you would like some of our house specialty, a bit of brandy.
Oh,
I do brew it myself.
Should have warmed the cockles, Flopsy.
gentlemen, I'm on a break.
I'm off the clock.
And in no time at all, a snifter of brandy is brought for each of you that would like one. Actually, one set in front of all four of you. Whether you drink it or not, it's up to you, but it is set there.
This is a delightful beverage.
Yes.
It's got a wonderful nose.
There, it is an old family secret.
I do not drink it. I drink the water.
Oh, well, I'll try the brandy.
I do love a good stipple, but I am on duty and I am not as lenient as these
One
two
drink's not gonna
apparently.
kill us.
Well, Miles, that
Is
is
Piara drinking it?
that is most commendable. No, Piara doesn't touch it.
Flopsy may
We
partake.
don't
of
drink
your
on
versions.
duty.
Oh,
Duty.
all right. I'll have some water.
Flopsy's in.
there any
Flopsy's
food?
tasting.
Is there food put on the table?
Yeah, she gets a bit of cheese.
You
some
guys have been eating and
nice-
drinking all night.
It's been
It
hungry
is
work.
it is the sociable thing to do, Miles. One must make acquaintance with one's hosts at their table. Relationships get built over meals.
Yes. Now, milady, so you said there was a bounty on rats. So you don't know anything about the rat fights or...
Ha 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 ha. Oh, rats are very beneath me.
Beneath everybody, my lady. They're in
However-
the sewers.
Yes, but still, word on the street says you may have some information.
Well, the best place to find the game is at the Salty Dog. But beware, the owner is rather uncouth. And for the very first time, you can see her face belies something improper. A little bit of impoliteness kind of comes across her face as she talks about the owner being a little uncouth. But you must know, it is not illegal to gamble in the Dock Hollow.
Oh, we're not here for the gambler. We're just hoping to try and find this piper.
We just don't want any more rats to be injured. It would really upset Kudzu, and Kudzu has
Threatened
threatened
the town.
vengeance. Yes. Appreciate it, madam. Useful information.
You are welcome. If that is all,
A couple of other things.
yes.
Just checking my notes. One thing. Hold on a second, madam.
You get a little flip, okay?
Yeah. Flopsy's going through his mind. He doesn't write notes down. He just keeps it all in his head. So, as fallible as that may be, sometimes that's how he works.
Okay.
Have you heard of or know of what's happening at the library, Beldrin's library? Apparently, it's closed down for business at the moment.
I am unfamiliar with the term Beldrin's Library. Sense motive.
Are we in on that action?
Oh, that didn't even land in there. Well, that's the first one for the night.
Oh, dude.
Anyone that interacted with her can make that.
Yeah. I'm at 19.
9.
Yeah, you don't think she's telling the entire truth there?
Right. Any truth at all about?
No, it's not any truth, but when she says, I do not, when she talks about not knowing the Beldrin's library, she kind of says, she thinks for a moment and she says, do you mean the Black Ross?
Ah, yes, the
library?"
Black Ross Library. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Mm.
Do you have it? What's happening at that library? Are there refurbishments going on? Have you got any information?
I've heard that it has been shut for a while.
Any information on what has caused the opening hours? to
Nobody
close?
is allowed in.
And where
Apparently, there is some bad business that is going on with the Black Ross family, and they are only letting people who have specific skills inside.
Do you know what those skills may be?
I am not one of them.
Ah.
Have you heard of any rumors lately? It's because I've always wanted to ask that in D&D.
I've always heard the rumors, but I hear rumors all the time, my dear boy, but you could not afford what I need you to pay.
What do you mean, pay for?
She just winks at him
pay for information.
salaciously.
my.
Madam, have you heard about a vampire in these parts?
Ah, vampire. There are always creatures of the night that are said to roam the docks.
Word on the street is you may have information about such things.
Who gave you this information?
The street.
Vampire.
Well, this is that Jack Harker guy that we said we met
Yeah.
earlier.
I am not familiar with Jack Harker. I've never met him.
Oh, he's a lovely fellow, a bit headstrong, but nice enough.
Flopsy is checking her out the whole time she's answering these questions. So if there's any sense motives, he will
Mhm.
want to do that.
Well, gentlemen and lady, if the members of the Night Watch would like to get back on to their duty, I'm sure you can understand. I have plenty of patrons that would like some of my time.
Madam, this is a very fine establishment. I must commend you on such an appealing and lovely place to relax.
It is much nicer than most of the other places.
Right? How does one become invited into a place like this?
When you become a ship's captain, then perhaps you might get an invitation.
Just ship's captains.
What
All
about
of
a
these men.
watch captain? And Miles puffs out his chest.
I'm sorry, Miles, but that is not enough.
Probably more like a beat captain. So all of these gentlemen are ship's captains.
That they are.
And why the exclusivity around ship's captains, madam?
As you can see, this fine establishment is for people who have a specific taste. I could assure you that even the drink that you have in your hands is beyond most residents of the docks.
Forgive me, forgive my ignorance, but one would think ship's captains are also a little bit, salty,
How droll.
of the earth. One would think that some of this refinement might be beyond them too. Do I have that wrong?
We uphold a particular way here in the Silver Lily.
It's a very beautiful sense of decorum.
That is correct. Now, if you have no further questions, while I appreciate you complimenting me, there is nothing more.
Thank you for your time, miss.
Thank you, my lady. And
Yes.
as Reg says goodbye, he makes to kind of take her hand to kiss it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she'll allow
Yep.
that.
And so as he leans in,
Woohoo!
as he leans in, Reg, his holy symbol kind of swings out and touches her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, cool. Okay.
Madam, we thank you for your time. Don't leave town.
Now. And she kind of glides up and escorts you down the stairs again. If you dropped your coat, she would take you to the coat rack. I would have your assurance that this conversation will stay between us. It is a fine business that I have seeking information from around the docks and the wider area. It is not an easy thing to gain trust once it is gone.
Fully understand that, my lady.
No
You
worries.
can count on us.
Madam, we can do a I scratch your back, you scratch mine situation right here, I think.
Mm.
Wink.
Mm. And she opens the door. Back into the cold, a gust of cool breeze hits you in the face. The smell of the docks.
Yeah, Flopsy, that cheese was lovely.
You should have tasted the brandy. It was
I wish I
delightful.
had. I wish I had.
You know, yours was better than mine.
She sure had a thing for semen. So,
Yeah, and you move out into the street.
so to the salty dog
A
then.
salty dog.
We didn't get the owner's name of the salty dog.
Well, we're about to find out now,
Doesn't matter.
Flopsy. Let's do it.
And remember, don't mention Lady Nodo, because that's what she said. She
Who?
wanted-
Who? Yeah.
Good, good. I think that's also. Is it? We're almost near the end of our what's it called? Patrol, aren't we, PR?
What do you think? So, look, as far as I know, we've got about here and back to the docks and then back up the street, I think.
Well, let's go to the salty dog and see if we can find out about.
What do you
this
call me?
Rataman, the rat fights?
My
Because
feet
then
are killing
otherwise
me.
we're in some trouble tomorrow.
To the docks, right? We don't need to check on that gentleman that had the concussion. So we send him to Madame Vargenray for identification.
He'll keep.
To the salty
To
dog.
the salty dog. Maybe I'll get a drink this time.
Should have had that brandy. It was delightful. The little warm glow.
Should have got a
I
takeaway.
needed a cigar.
High back chair. That was very comfortable seat.
Oh, velvet.
Could have happily gone to sleep there.
May have been velveteen,
Velveteen.
perhaps.
Mine was leather.
So I'm just adding to my list, become a ship's captain, because I could inhabit that place. I don't think that lady liked me very much, though.
Yeah, well, you can be a bit brash sometimes, Flopsy.
I don't understand. What?
Well, I mean, I'm a farmer.
Yeah.
I'm used to being shunned and out
This
there, but
simple
you're
life,
even more.
a
Yeah.
very simple boy from a very simple
But-
small town, small-minded views. Yes,
I don't know and understand half of what these people are saying, but you're quite abrupt about it.
I don't understand.
Well,
I just say what I see.
yes, and sometimes that can be like a bit grating. People don't like to see what's really in the mirror sometimes. You get what I'm trying to say? Do you know what I'm trying to say, Reg? You've been with Flopsy a long time. You've got to know what I'm talking about. Right?
Yeah. What?
This is why I love the little nugget. He understands me.
Let's get to the salty dog. Let's do it. Come on.
That was probably the nicest place I've ever been in.
It was beautiful. You have never been there.
I'm not a ship's captain.
Oh.
I kind of thought, though, some of the places you used to be a learned guard, and I assume libraries are pretty much like that, right?
And you strike me as the kind of person that can find a way into places like that if you wanted to.
I don't think I would ever want to go in a place like that, to be honest. I couldn't afford to drink if you asked me.
What if you were just given drinks in a place like that? It was quite delightful.
You had a chance right there.
Well, we were. That's right.
How much have you guys had to drink tonight?
Well,
Well, it was just the drinks at the where we were the
It's just not a
competition,
lot.
and that wasn't even actually drinking the whole drink. That was just a little sup.
it was something. We had a little.
That was like the
A little-
fourth bar we've been to.
We did have a little break at the inn of the inn where those gentlemen were trying to rough down the.
Yeah.
We had a little.
I'd like to point out
beverage
that we
there.
are burning this off as we go. I mean, I am famished. I have not
Right.
worked so hard in an evening
A crocodile fight takes it out of one.
since my training sessions with my master.
And then you had a training session tonight.
Well, exactly right. That's yeah. And that was a good night.
That was-
that.
yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Thirsty
Learned a lot.
work, though. Thirsty
I
work.
learned a lot though.
As you're walking along, the mist parts in front of you, and just in the middle of the road, you see a small monkey. The monkey has golden hair. It has a little waistcoat on. You can see it's got a little pirate hat that is fashioned for the size of its head. It's got a gold hoop earring in one of its ears. And you can see there's a little crest just of a ship, just on the lapel of its little waist jacket. And it's just sitting there in the middle of the road looking at you. And it kind of just goes, "Roar."
So it's about Reggie's size, is it?
No, it's a little tiny thing.
Like
So
the pooch?
so if you want a bit of an idea, think about the monkey from Aladdin. So it's about the size of the monkey from Aladdin, except it's got golden hair. It's very
Abu.
white, Abu. And instead of that little hat that it's got a pirate hat
So
on.
a bit like the necrotic one from Pirates of the Caribbean.
very much like
Cool,
the
cool.
necrotic one from Pirates of the Caribbean without the necrotic.
Yes.
So it's just sitting there, and it kind of goes "Arr," and looks at you, and just you know how monkeys kind of do that thing with their lips that I couldn't do then,
I was gonna say,
that thing.
I think it's trying to have a go at you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna throw a whooshy
Just-
dart at it.
Just sitting in the middle of the road, and what are you going to do?
Hey,
Throw
little
darts.
fella. Hey, little fella, how are you?
And it kind of walks up to you, grabs you on the on the pant leg, and begins to sort of climb up your body to sit on your shoulder. Do you let it?
As long as it's going to the opposite side of Tippy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's going on to the opposite side of Tippy. At this point, I would like everybody just to give me a will save.
At least he wasn't rolling
What the
initiative.
hell is going on in this game? Monkeys on the seafront.
Will, did you say?
It's
I
a
will
sea
save.
monkey.
Dude.
Will saves, please. Flopsy, what did you get?
I rolled a 1.
Oh, that's not good at all. Probably the character that I thought may be pretty good at this. What did you get, Reg?
17 in total.
Not bad. And Miles.
14.
And could you just do me a roll, please, Brett, for
No.
Piera?
No. Bad. Good. Natural 11.
Thank you very much. So there's a monkey on Miles's shoulder. Everybody's just in the mist. That's all.
What the hell is going on?
I got a pet monkey. That's what I think's going on.
Are you like collecting animals or something?
I think so. I have a rat, a monkey, and a robot bird thing.
A golden monkey, no less, it seems.
I'm going to call it Bubbles.
Oh, boy.
Everyone does.
It's sitting on your shoulder and it starts grabbing at your hair and pulling at whatever you've got sort of around your collar. Do you wear anything around your neck like a holy symbol or anything like that?
Nope.
Yeah, it's just kind of fiddling with you, kind of picking away, and then it starts to pick at its own self like a monkey does. That self-grooming that a monkey would do. It's like,
Miles, I told you when we're on the duty, you have to leave your monkey alone.
Well, let's keep going, I guess. Well, we might find this guy's owner if he's... I assume he's got an owner. I don't think this monkey dressed himself.
What makes you think you haven't dressed itself?
Because it's a monkey. Where would he get the clothes?
What? Maybe it needs to be here. Why would we take it away from this spot?
What do you think, Pierre?
I think, well, maybe it does belong to a ship or something. It might be sometimes I've heard that ships take cats on board because they think they're lucky.
So this could be a lucky monkey.
This could be a lucky monkey.
Well, we need some luck with this night.
All right, well, maybe.
If we see someone, we can ask. Someone might know at the Salty Dog.
Sure.
Let's get the salty dog then. Let's get
Right.
I mean, we could always go back if we don't find him at Salty Dog. We can
Fair.
always go back to Lady Nodo and see if anyone.
Well,
knows
the
in there.
Salty Dog is way all the way across town at the docks. So perhaps we might
do some
find
research
something.
around this area where perhaps the monkey's owner might be.
Give a little look around the
What's the
surroundings.
insignia on its chest?
The insignia on its chest is a little boat, and you can see that the boat on top of it has a cutlass that is like a moon-shaped cutlass.
When the monkey's not facing me, I'd like to do a detect magic on it.
Mhm.
Using my arcane reservoir.
Sure.
please.
You detect magic on the monkey. It doesn't detect magical at all. There's nothing magical on the monkey.
When you were looking at boats earlier, did you notice any with this signet on it?
Oh, let me cast my mind back to
I believe one of the boats was called Fuck Off Brett.
Yes, it was named after a
And
beverage we
didn't
just
you
made.
didn't you make one up like the hurdy-gurdy or something like that as well?
The flippity gibbet.
The flippity gibbet.
I've got it written down. I've
One
got
of-
it written down.
One of the boats was
The
called
rusty tool, the jaded dipshit, FOB, and the flippity gibbet.
Yeah.
Okay, we can ask people and we can keep an eye out on any boats as we go past for this flag.
Can I ask, are we near the waterfront now?
You've been near the waterfront for the last.
No, you're on the exact opposite part of the waterfront.
right,
So
We're at the water back.
where the Silver Lily is the very back of town against the wall. So to get back to the docks, you have to essentially walk all the way through the Dock Hollow district or the docks district to get to the actual dock front.
Do we leave the monkey here?
No, we'll just take it with us. Can't leave a monkey on the side of the road. Look what's happened this night. We can't leave this poor monkey all by himself.
Okay, but if you start saying can't say that, then there will be some questions asked.
Okay, and we head off to the Salty Dog again.
Again, you start moving towards the sound of the sea gets a little bit clearer. Make a perception check as you're moving down the street.
17.
24.
7.
Oh,
7.
24.
And could you please roll for Pierre Luke?
I rolled a 3.
Yeah, that's not great at all for
Suck
her. That is not good. Yeah, you're walking down the street when all of a sudden you are surrounded by
Monkeys.
6 people who jump out from behind crates. They jump out from behind an alleyway, a doorway. You just missed seeing them because of the mist, maybe. Flopsy, the immediate thing that happens when you see them is you want to attack them. You have a compulsion to be angry, to attack, to make sure that these guys pay for jumping out of you at you in the street. The rest of you just see a bunch of sailors. They've got saps in hands. They're looking pretty nasty themselves and they're kind of flicking them in their hands. And they're like, right, boys, here comes some other people to work on the boat for us. We get a gold each, remember, for every person we press, gang. Looks like you boys and girl are gonna come for a little sail. Initiatives. Oh. Flopsy, what did you get for your initiative?
21.
Oh, dear.
Reg, what did you get for your initiative?
20.
Ooh, that's pretty good. What did you get, Miles?
I also got a dirty 20.
Ooh, who's got the better initiative modifier out of the two of you? I think it's Reg, isn't it?
20.6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And could you please, Lindsay, roll for the lovely Piero?
That's a 6.
Piero's right down.
Pierre's not doing well.
Piero's right down the end.
Do you want me to roll for the monkey too?
No, the monkey stays on your shoulder. Flopsy, what are you going to do?
Can you describe for me how the sailors are arrayed around us?
They are literally surrounding you. There are 6 of them. You guys are in the middle of the street, sort of clumped together, and they have all sort of jumped out of the street. The furthest away one would be about 30 feet from you.
I
At
like
this
these
point,
odds. I like these odds.
on the edge of the mist. And they're almost 3 in front, 3 behind, 1 directly in front, 1 directly behind, and then 2 at sort of 45 on each side. So, you know, they're very, very, you're surrounded.
How very dare you jump out at us as we're on the night's watch. So I pulled out a bomb, and it's outside of its first range increment, so I'll take some penalties on that. I rolled a 4-5 to hit on a touch attack on one of the sailors, the one immediately in front of me, the easiest one to throw to.
You miss a touch attack.
Flopsy, what are you
then
doing?
Significantly.
You can roll a deviation on that if you want to. West.
So it goes west. Can you roll a D8, I believe, to see
The
how
whole
many
idea of the
squares?
box is they go in the box.
8.
8. So the bomb actually flies really far and wide. It actually misses and overshoots it, so the splash damage doesn't hit the sailor that's looking at you with anger in his eyes. You see Piero just go, "What? Stop in the name of night? What?
Oh, yes. Stop or I'll shoot. Get them. Kill them.
Reg, it's your go."
Richard, Flopsy, what are you doing?
Kill them. They want to destroy us. Kill them.
How far is Miles from me at the minute? Right next to me?
Yeah. You're in you're clumped in a group.
Okay, so I will reach out my hand, touching Miles, giving him a surge of strength. So get a +1 bonus to strength. Okay, so could you start a touch with strength for 1 round? The target gains a +1 enchantment bonus melee attack. So you get +1 to your strength for your next melee attack. And I'll draw my camera, and that's that.
All right. That brings us down to Miles. What are you going to do? Miles, on your shoulder, you see a monkey, and the monkey's kind of grabbing you, trying to get your attention and kind of rubbing its belly at the same time. Just
Have you guys lost a monkey? He's going to point back at it. And then seeing that combat's kind of ensued, he's going to run to the nearest one and punch it in the face.
Okay.
With his newfound strength surge.
You're feeling pretty
Oh,
pumped. You're feeling
that
pretty pumped.
Was not good. That's 2 on the dice roll.
Your punch flies wide. Is that with a +1 to hit?
No, that was just what I rolled. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
like
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a 5 to hit.
A 5 is definitely not going to hit one of these sailors, and you are now in base to base. Piera says, "Don't come any closer. Night watch. Back together. Why are we attacking? These guys haven't done anything for us. You just stay away." And you can see her draw out her crossbow again, load it and pull it back. And she's looking at you, Reg, like, why are these two attacking all of a sudden? These guys have not done anything. Sure, they look sinister. They don't look nice, Reg, but we can't just attack people for no
They're gonna try
reason.
and press gang us. Where's the flare? Oh, damn it.
She stands there, at which point the sailors all get their go. The first thing that happens with the sailors is on Miles, the sailor who is in front of you that you tried to punch holds back a sap, tries to whack you over the head. And you can hear him say, "Oh, a strong one good for the oars." That is going to be a 16 to hit you.
That will hit. Oh,
That's not bad. That's going to do 5 points of non-lethal damage.
Oh, non-lethal. Okay.
Non-lethal damage. They are trying to knock you out. 2 of them close in on Flopsy. Those 2, one of them's the one that you threw the bomb at, and both of them attempt to attack you. That will be a 15 to hit you with 1.
That would hit.
And the second sap that comes in is only a 5, so only 1 gets through. That is 4 points of non-lethal damage as he again gets through your defenses and cracks you over the head. He's aiming specifically for your head to try and crack you one and knock you out. The last 3 of them group between Piera and Reg because you're standing right next to each other on the other side of Flopsy, and 3 of them attack. 2 of them attack you, Reg, and 1 of them attacks Piera. The one on Piera, that is a natural 20, followed by a 17. That is going to confirm a critical hit with a sap. And poor Piera takes a significant crack that is loud enough for you guys to audibly hear
it's on
her head.
It is on.
You see her reel back, and you see the stars actually spin around her head for an instant. And on you, Reg, that's 2 of them attacking you. The first one with a sap is on a 12, and then there is another one that tries to hit you with a 5. I don't believe either of those get through your formidable armor class.
No, they do not.
And you have 6 combatants in front of you. Round number 2. Flopsy, still filled with rage. What are you going to do?
Flopsy's going to turn to the largest group of people, which I think is around Piara and the Nugget. There's 5 there, including Piara and the Nugget.
Yeah.
There would be. There's 2 on you and 3 on
Just gonna try
those
and
2.
Step away from the 2 on me.
Yep.
Cast a color spray at that group.
It's very difficult because they're surrounding you.
Okay.
So unless you want to get Piara and Reg, you will essentially you can only get about 2 of them.
Hi, my name's Flopsy, and I don't care about my party members so much that I wouldn't color spray them.
It's consistent.
It is consistent. All right. You cast color spray. So you step 5 foot back and you launch a color spray that envelops all
5.
No.
Let's make that 7,
Great.
including Piera and Reg.
Yep. Well, 7. Great.
All right. Let's talk about
Will saves, people.
the sailors first.
Let me do Pierre's.
First sailor, 16.
Save.
He was the one that the bomb hit on you. His friend next to him gets a natural 20.
Save.
His friend, the one that hit Piera, 7.
Fail.
The first one on Reg, 8.
Fail.
And another 8. So the one that hits Piera and the 2 that went for Reg all fail.
So he pulls out coloured sand and throws it in their direction, and a cone of vivid 15-foot cone-shaped burst of colour springs forth from my hand, and creatures become stunned, perhaps also blinded, and possibly knocking them unconscious. Depends on their hit dice, Justin. Are they 2 hit dice or less, 3 to 4, 5 or more?
I think you might find, Brett, that they're 2 or less.
The creature is unconscious, blinded, and stunned for 2d4 rounds, then blinded and stunned for 1d4 rounds, and then stunned for 1 round. Only
So-
living creatures are knocked unconscious.
Ooh. But then that brings us to Piera and Reg. So you see 3 of them just go bloom, fall to the floor, saps fall out of their hands. Reg, what was your roll?
So it was a will, was it?
It
So
is.
a grand total of 26.
Oh,
Oh,
that is
nice.
nice. What
Nothing.
about Piera?
Pierre rolled a 3.
Piera also falls to the floor.
She was already there, wasn't she? She took a...
Yeah, she's not looking great at all. You can see a bit of blood still trickling out of her head. A lump is actually forming as she falls to the floor. She hits that lump. It goes back inside like a cartoon.
Oh, I thought it was going to hatch and the birds fly around her head.
Little monkeys with wings.
Look at the little monkey.
Do you want me to roll it? Durations?
Well, they are currently stunned.
Blinded and stunned.
Well, they're unconscious, Brett, for this round. So let's
All right.
talk about what they do next round. Reg, it's your go. You
So-
just watched the 3
Everyone
guys
collapse.
right next to you.
And Piera.
Yep. And you also saw Flopsy once again cast a spell in the entire group.
So there are 2 still on Flopsy,
There are 2 away from Flopsy because he moved away so he could cast the spell.
and then Miles is right up in the grill of 1 or 2?
1.
1. Okay, so I'm going to move to the ones near Flopsy because I think Miles can probably handle himself with 1-on-1.
Sure.
I'd like to think he could.
Yep.
I've shown him enough. So I'm going to attempt to trip the nearest one I get to over with Flopsy.
Sure.
With a 21 on trip.
That is definitely enough. The guy just falls straight to the floor.
Awesome.
He's on the ground. Boom.
Cool. That's me done.
Drop him.
Stay down.
Miles, what are you going to do?
Miles is going to sleep strike. Punch at him. Oh, I need more better. That's a 10 total.
10 is not going to meet that
Just on
person.
the hex.
That gets us to Piara. Piara is on the floor, unconscious. At this point, you hear a voice. Hey, what is all this then? Stop that, boys. What are you doing? And out of the mist, you see very much a captain. Eye patch, pirate cap on, a bicorn. Are they bicorn?
Tricorn.
No, the two.
Like the Admiral caps.
Yeah.
Ah, right.
You
That'd be a bicorn.
You see what would be described as a salty sea dog walk out. He's got a peg leg. He's got a hook for a hand. He's got an eye patch over his
It's the guy you made in that little intro we did.
He's got a hat that's turned to the side with a skull and crossbones on the top, and he's going, oi, what's all this then? By the Captain Red-Eye Egan, I order you to stop assaulting my men.
Assaulting your men, sir. They've come to accost us to press gang. They assaulted one of our officers.
We are members of the watch.
They will die.
And we'll find out what happens.
Oh,
Next game.
No.
Yes, scurvy. That's not.
There's not a lot of difference between Flopsy and Sauceful, is there?
It just gives you more reason to be.
Yeah, you were a bit more verbal about being a